It's your girl Alexis, and we back with another video. Sound like Santa Claus. Ho ho ho. Today I'm going to be doing a story time. Yay! So today I'm going to be doing a story time. The time that we basically saw a ghost. Not with our own eyes, but through like pictures and things like that. So let's just jump straight into this video. If you haven't already, we have a vlog that we put up a while back around Thanksgiving time. And in that vlog, it's not the best of vlog, we're still learning, but in that vlog, we went to Tennessee. We went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee for the Thanksgiving week. So we recorded, you know, little things we did. We went to the car museum, we went downtown, we went on the you know, the lift thing, went up in the mountains, and we went to Cades Cove. Now Cades Cove is a very historic place, and I'm going to just basically pull up my screen record. So basically, Cades Cove is one of the most visited areas in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Visitors are able to explore historic cabins, churches, and mills. Also spot wildlife, deer, turkeys, black bears, and enjoy the gorgeous mountain scenery. Cades Cove was not always a place to visit for a day. It used to be a place to live. For over 100 years before the park was created, many families worked and played in the Cades Cove Valley. Before Europeans settled in the valley, Cherokee Indians traveled through the valley to hunt the abundant deer, elk, bison, and bears. The first European settlers arrived in the cove in the early 1820s. They quickly built log homes, barns, corn cribs, smokehouses, and cleared land for farming. The land was rich and fertile and provided the settlers with abundant crops such as corn. By 1850, the population in the valley had reached 685 as new families moved to the cove and numerous children were born into the families that were already settled there. So basically, you know, these Europeans and Indians and Cherokees, and in the 1820s, they basically moved over and settled to Cades Cove, and basically they built these cabins out of logs, and these churches and these mills and these barns and schools. So this is basically where we went. You ride around. It's a trail you can ride in, or you can do the hiking trail. We did the one that you ride. So you basically drive through this trail. Not only are you looking at wildlife, animals, and mountains, you're looking at these log cabins, and there's places where you can park and get out and tour the inside of these cabins. Well, if you know me, I am a big history person. I like history like that, when I could actually see like the real deal thing, like not these mock models and things like that. I want to see the real deal thing, like somebody back in the 1820s actually touched this. They actually built this. I'm that kind of person. So I actually enjoyed this, but this is where the story begins. Once we got to the very last cabin, we pulled over, we parked, we walked to the cabin, right? So I'm gonna play part of this, part of our vlog. If you have not seen that vlog, please go back and watch our Tennessee vlogs. It was a very enjoyable trip. If you've never been there before, you need to go. Gatlinburg, Tennessee is awesome. So the title of our vlog that we did was We Saw a Ghost on Live Camera. Now, I put the evidence in here. I don't know. I'm a firm believer of ghosts. I don't know if anybody else is. Excuse my hair. It's kind of just pulled up. But anywho, I'm a firm believer of ghosts or spirits, whatever you want to call them. And so is my family. So when this happened, you know, when things happen like that, you kind of get in a disbelief and you want to make excuses of why that happened, because you don't want to believe that it's a ghost. Well, that's kind of what happened in this video. In the video, we don't really talk about it. I show you pictures of things, but I'm gonna go in further detail as we're watching and explain the story. So in this vlog right here, we was pulling up to our last cabin. So this is the last cabin as we arrived. So Mercedes has one of those cameras that prints the film out. One of the old school, you know, cameras. So she wanted to take pictures on this trip. So she wanted to get a picture of my mom sitting on this cabin, as you can see right here, she's sitting there. So we're vlogging, Mercedes taking the picture. So first, my mom and my stepfather sit down to take a picture, right? All right. So they're taking a picture. And I was the one taking the picture. Not to mention, like, when I first walked up, like, all the other cabins I've been to, yeah, it was weird. It felt weird being there. But this particular cabin, when we got out the vehicle walking up to it, it was already creepy. Like, it was back, like, it was a good little walk. It was back into the woods, kind of. And there's nothing but woods surrounding you. And then it's, like, sunny over here, but the house is sitting in the shade. It was just weird. Like, it was all out weird. I felt weird vibes. I had chills already. I don't know what was going on. So I was taking the picture. So then Mercedes wanted to get a picture of my mom. Right here is what she's doing. So that's what Mercedes, she's using her film to take a picture of my mom. Well, what happened is Mercedes accidentally snaps it when my mom's not ready because somebody was behind her in her picture. So my mom's like, get out of my picture. So as soon as my mom turned her head like that to say, get out of my picture, people, Mercedes snapped the shot. And that was her last film. So it was an off-guard film. So if any of y'all know my mom, I don't know, some of y'all know my mom, and my mom's probably told y'all thousands of stories, but it seems like my mama attracts ghosts for some reason. I don't know. She has a lot of experience happen to her. So it's weird how when she snaps this picture, off guard.
Well, that tells you Mercedes would never be a photographer.
So off of this picture, you know, it was off guard. So Mercedes, you know, she's shaking the film, waiting for the film to come and develop. So as that's happening, my mom's taking more pictures of me and Deshaun, things like that. So I'm gonna fast forward because now we're just taking pictures. So she took a picture of me and Deshaun, and then we're sitting there. She's taking a picture of Layla. So Mercedes says, we got a problem, because while my mom is setting up Layla for her picture, Mercedes, the film is finally developed. And Mercedes shows me this picture, and I'm like, that picture doesn't look right. It looks suspicious. And so in this picture, there's a circle, a white circle on the window on the side of the cabin. Of course, in our minds, we're like, oh no, it's just the sun, or oh no, it's just where the film didn't develop. But this is a perfect round circle. And if you don't know, they're called orbs or ghost balls, whatever you want to call them. So we're like, you know, we got a problem.
Just popped up in that picture.
So mom looks at it. She kind of just throws it off to the side, like, oh, that's not what it is. You're just freaking out. So then we just push it to the side. We're like, whatever, you know. So we go inside, we tour. Still got these chills. So my stepsister Tori, every time we went to the cabin, she liked to go upstairs to look. Now upstairs is kind of like an attic. It's just a flat room where they basically slept and fit more people because they had, you know, it was big families. So they had everybody sleep in this tiny cabin. So that was more room for more people to sleep at. Not a lot of room to stand up in. It was just basically you go in there and you lay down and you sleep. So Tori was really going into these cabins upstairs. She wanted to look upstairs. So this cabin, she couldn't really find the stairs. Well, my stepdad found it. Keep in mind, this is where that orb popped up on that picture, was the upstairs window.
Let me go. That's not where the sun reflection is up here. It's a ghost. Okay. That's a ghost.
So my mom's like, okay, whatever, you know, whatever you want to believe it is. My mama just pushing it to the side. She don't want to believe it is what it is. It's not that she don't believe it. She don't want to believe it. So, they're like, you know, it's just the sun. But the sun is way up here. This orb is way right over the window. So, we're...
You don't see the sun at the top of the beam.
But that is a circle.
A complete, look at that, a complete circle. The sun rays, you can see the sun rays at the top. There's no way the sun did that off that window. That window was in the shade. There's no way.
Yeah, that looks a little funny to me.
Looks like a ghost ball.
So I already did not want to be in this cabin after that. I had just chills. I didn't want to tour the other cabins. I looked in, I toured.
Pictures.
I was not going upstairs. So Tori, Layla, and Mercedes goes upstairs. Well, actually, I think just Tori and Mercedes went upstairs. No, Layla goes behind them. Yeah, that's right.
So, what is that?
I think it's a reflection of the sun.
No, it's not. It is a ghost. It's an orb.
It's a ghost ball.
No, it's not.
In a perfect circle.
So Mercedes comes down. Layla comes down the stairs. Tori is still upstairs. We're all exiting the house. Well, the cabin. So keep in mind, Tori's behind all of us. She's exiting downstairs while we're going outside. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's all woods. The road is way up there, so you had a good little walk. So we're just sitting outside of the cabin waiting for Tori to still come downstairs.
Alright, so see YouTube. Found a ghost ball.
So, hold on, I missed the part. Okay, so we're coming out the cabin.
That ain't. You can
Something just touched me.
Did you hear that? Tori was coming downstairs and we were already sitting outside and she said, something just touched me. Keep in mind, she was upstairs and she was the first one to go upstairs. So when you go upstairs, you can't walk around. So as you go upstairs, you're just standing at the top of the stairs and you're looking out in front of you. So it was Tori, Mercedes, Layla. So Layla came, so turning around, coming downstairs. Layla came out first, then Mercedes. They're already outside. So Tori's still coming down the steps. So as she's coming down the steps, something touched her as she was still upstairs when she turned around.
I really ain't trying to find out what it is.
And honestly, nobody realized Tori said, something just touched me, except for Deshaun. Because Deshaun was like, I don't know, I really don't want to find out what it is. We didn't realize that. We're still walking and going about our day until later we got back to our cabin, which was not haunted, by the way. It's not in the same area. It's like 2 hours out from where this is, or an hour and a half out from where this is. So we get back to our cabin, and that's when we did our research, because I was telling my mama, that is not from the film. That is not from the sun. That has to be something. So keep in mind, my mama's playing, you know, she's playing tough right now. She's like, oh, that ain't what it is. It's from the sunlight. Oh, it's from this. But when we get home, she does research and she finds something. And we were right the whole time. And I didn't realize, nobody really realized, Deshaun didn't even say anything either. Nobody realized that Tori said something just touched me until I got home and edited this video.
YouTube. Found a ghost ball.
So we're walking back to the car. As we were walking back to the car, somebody pulled up and they were going to it, and I was like, Should I tell them? I don't know. They may not be believers, but so we get back to the hotel or whatever. We did our research. I wasn't even done editing this video once we did our research. So I added the research into this video. So after comparing the pictures, all the pictures that we took, Layla, me and Deshaun, my mom by herself, the off-guard one with the orb, and on top of that, my mom and Philip. Now keep in mind, the only one that was with film was the one Mercedes took of my mom off guard. all the other pictures, Layla, my mom and Philip, which is my stepdad, and me and Deshaun, were taken with a cell phone. So after comparing all those pictures, which my mama by this time was kind of like, okay, what is that? So she was comparing the pictures at the cabin, and she found a man's face in the window. No joke, no lie, clear as day. And she came to us in our room at the cabin and showed us. I was freaked. When I say chills just went all over my body, because I was like, okay, we was in that cabin. I was telling you the whole time. You didn't want to believe me. Something touched Tori. You still didn't want to believe it. Like, I got chills just telling this story right now. So, we compared the pictures. We found a man's face. After doing research on that particular cabin and Cades Cove, there were multiple sightings of a man's face at that specific cabin. Like, that's how weird that is. So when we did the research and we zoomed in on the picture, I'm looking behind me because now I'm freaked out and got the chills and I'm home alone. But anywho, so once you did the research, once we like zoomed in and looked at it, the man kind of looked like a veteran. And we dug deeper and found out that the man who built that cabin was a Civil War veteran. So the next few pictures is the pictures that we found. Alright, so this is the picture with my mom and Philip. The man is in this picture as well. So it was mom and Philip, then mama stayed there, and that's when Mercedes took the picture with the film. So he stayed there as long as my mom was there. That's what's weird. My mom was in this picture, he was there. My mom by herself, that orb popped up on the film. Everybody else, he was gone. That's what I'm talking about. That's the weird stuff. So look. Bam. So if you look closely at that top window, it kind of looks like something in the left-hand corner in that middle square. But the left, like there's 3 rows, that left row, the middle one in that left row. Look in that square. All right, now I'm gonna zoom in. All right, this is the one right after my mom took the picture with Philip. That's the orb in that same window. Now watch this. All right, boom. All right, so this is that same picture I showed you before, and I told you, look. So I zoomed in on the picture. Now look at that. You can see his hat. You can see his hat. You can see his face, his nose, his eyes. You can kind of see like a mustache. Like, you know, back in the day, Civil War veterans, they had that big mustache. That's what it looked like. And you can see his shoulder. And then right here, you can kind of see like medals, like war medals. You know how they wore their war medals on their stuff. All right. So the next picture taken was me and Deshaun. Notice he's gone. He's no longer there. He's gone. All right, so Haunted Cades Cove. So this is where after we seen that picture, we started doing research. Probably the most well-known location on the list of haunted places in the Smoky Mountains. The abandoned cabins, churches, and cemeteries make for an eerie scene as dusk approaches. It's no wonder that several visitors hold this site to be a haunt for Smoky Mountains ghosts. Over the years, Cades Cove has seen its fair share of murder and tragedy, like the gravestone of Gregory Russell that reads, "Killed by North Carolina Rebels." While there are few specific ghost stories in Cades Cove, there's plenty of spooky activity. Several pictures on the internet depict orbs in the graveyards, cabins, and other buildings at the historical site. Like right now, I got chills all over my body. Like, this is some creepy stuff. First time, I mean, I've had some weird stuff happen to me and see things, and I'm like, what was that? But then I just blew it off, like, you know, I'm just tripping. But this was some extra real deal stuff, and like, it's got me freaked out already telling the story. One particular notable photo seems to capture a woman's face coming out of the wall on one of the old churches. We went back and looked to see if we seen any of that. I couldn't see that, but you know, there's a lot of stuff that happens in Cades Cove. So then this is where we did my videos are in the way, but this is where we did the research on that particular cabin. And once we figured out he looked like a war veteran, we said, well, let's do some research. So that cabin was Carter Shields' cabin in 1910. but it was built in 1880 by William Sparks, who was a Civil War veteran. And he was crippled and he retired there. And we looked up a photo of him. We looked up a photo of William Sparks. Oh my God, looks just like him. Look it up. Look at that picture and look up William Sparks, Civil War veteran. Hey, hey, hey. Talk about chills. Yeah. So, that's that. And that's the end of that video. I didn't want to add that to the actual... Alright, so Cades Cove, the Carter Shields cabin, was the one we went to. One of my photos showed the image of a man's face. Booyah.
Hey, it's safe to say that I'll be ballin' on you, scrub. Walk up in the club.